So in last class, like we are discussing about some union on and sort and match transformations, right?
Right,
Match and uh, execute SQL task, and then like
yes,
we say about precedence constraints.
right,
Precedence constraints like okay. So in real time, like what we do is like we are splitting the data into dimensions and facts. So whenever in dimensions, like we will have different kind of scenarios while loading the data into dimension tables or any other tables. But probably mostly in dimension tables, like we will have two different kind of scenarios. The one thing is like dimensions will always contain unique data. Unique data in the sense dimensions won't contain any kind of duplicates. Okay.
uh,
So let us say when we are loading for product a dimension table from all the transactional information, we will get a distinct products and we will assign a key for each and every product. So for the next time, like when we inserting the data into a dimension table, okay. So if the product is already existed, okay. So what we do is we simply update that particular record. Instead of inserting the record again, we simply update the record. Why? Because the record is already existed. Okay.
right,
So there might be chance of changing its what we call its attributes, like its dimensions, or else what we can say like its category or something else may change.
right,
And the second thing is like uh, if it is a new record, if it is altogether, if it is a new product, then we have to insert the record.
right,
Insert the record. So that means here two things we are having. One is if the record is already existed, just go for
right,
update. In some cases, we may need not to update the record. Okay, may or may not. Why? Because if the product is having a more what we call more constraints, more attributes, then we may need to update. If it is not, like we just simply leave the record. Why? Because the record is already existed, so I will just ignore that. Whether the insertion or updation, I won't do anything. But if it is a new record, I will just go for the insertion of the record. But how will I know? Like how will the system will know like whether the insertion or updation? How the system will know? Means in SSIS we have one transformation called as lookup transformation.
okay,
Lookup transformation. So using this, like we can go for the insertion or updation of the record. Okay. So let me tell you. So like in source, like you are getting data from source, like you are getting data, and while inserting the data into the dimension table, that means the target table. It might be dimension or else it might be any other kind of some other table. That means we are loading the data into target table. While loading
right,
the data into target table, we are just comparing the data. So we are just comparing the source data with the target data, right? We are looking
right.
into the target data and checking whether the record is existed in the target or not. So how to do this means let's connect to the solution. So let me close this package. I will create a package.
Right.
Yeah, so if you want to create a new package, just right click on SSIS packages and then go to new SSIS packages, or else simply just already existing, copy the existing package Control C and just Control V. So you will get the package, and I will rename this package. Just let me delete this. I will check on data flow task because like we are trying to load the data, so we need to take the data flow task. So in real time, whatever the thing that we are working on, we have to maintain some proper naming convention for each and every
Right.
task, package, and even in database table also. Let me connect to the database table. Let me SSMS. And connect to the training database.
Mhm.
Let's create a table. Create table. Product underscore 8th August. So instead of that, I'm trying to create columns like product ID. So ID will be always some integer.
Right. Product name.
Product name. So it is some character kind of information. So we will
Right.
go for around 50 characters and
Right.
some product
Category.
category. So again I will go for varchar. So I will take around 30 characters.
Mm-hmm.
What else we can take? Uh,
Cost.
Product cost, yes. Product cost. So I'll go for money type, or else
Right.
you can take any integer also. Integer also
Right.
you can take. Let me create the structure. So I have created the table. So structure is ready. I'll try to insert some data. Insert into
Right.
product values. So product ID I will take as 101. Some product name Sony,
So,
and some it is some mobile category, and the cost might be some around 20,000. So again some one or two, some
right.
Panasonic. Again I will go for a mobile category. It's around 30,000.
One or three.
Yeah. So product ID some 103, and I will go
Samsung.
for some, yeah. Let's see. Okay, it's around 20,000,
Okay.
and one or four some Samsung. I'll go for TV. around 20,000. So for now, like I will try to insert these four records. So now we have four records. So assume like this is what our source, and in the source like we have four records. Okay,
Right.
so let me create a package. So data flow tasks. This is for loading lookup. I will open the data flow task. So we are going to pull the data from source. I will take one OLEDB source, and we are going to load the data into one destination. I'll take OLEDB destination. So in OLEDB source, I will just configure that. So this is what my database that I'm getting. Click on OK,
Right.
and then I will take the data from a table. Simply select the table or view data access mode, and then get the table from the list. So the list is
Right.
uh,
Employee.
product, right? Product,
Yeah.
product 9th August. This is what my table. Just go to the columns. These are all the columns that I will take. Click on OK. So let me create a target table.
Right.
Start into product underscore 9 August underscore TGT target. Okay, so where 1 equal to 2. That means I'm just taking the skeleton.
Oh, okay. This is the copy syntax.
Yeah, yeah. Just taking the structure, table structure, instead of
Okay.
taking the data. So table structure is ready.
Uh,
In source we have data and the target table is empty. So now
right.
what I will do is I will every time while inserting the data into the target table, I will check with the product ID whether the product ID is existed in my destination or not. Okay, so for that purpose, what I will do is go to here. Once after configuring the source, I will take one transformation called lookup transformation. Here you can see the lookup transformation. Just
Right.
select that and drag to your workspace. Give the connection from source to the lookup transformation,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll just rename this lookup underscore. I am looking for the product table, right? So I'll just give it as a product. Open
Right.
that. Here for now, like time being, forget about the cache mode and connection type. Here you can
Okay.
see third option, like specify how to handle rows with no matching entries. That
Oh,
means
okay.
no matching entries. It is bothering about the no matching entries. That means if the record is already, if the record is not existed in the dimension, that means it
Okay.
is a no matching entry. Let us say product ID 101 is existed in the destination. No. Okay.
No.
So it is a no matching entry in the destination, right? So
Right.
how you are going to handle that no matching entry? So if you found any no matching entry in the source, what you want to do? It is asking. So
Okay.
here we are having four options. So what I will do is I will take the no matching entries into redirect rows to no match output. Okay, so for now I will take this, and later we will discuss about these three.
Okay.
Redirect rows to no match output. I will take this and then
Okay.
go to the connection. Here, with which table you are going to look up? I am going to look up with the target table, where your target table is existed. My target table is existed in this particular connection. Uh,
Right.
and
Okay.
what is your target table? Here you can pick your target table. What is your target table? This is what my target table.
Right.
Okay, or else you can write the SQL query. You can
Oh,
write
okay.
the SQL query. Instead of selecting the table, straight away you can write the SQL query. Select a particular column and then from that particular table. Here I am going to look up with the product ID. So in that case, I can write as select product ID, product ID from the table. Okay, so
Right.
every time I am going to check with the product ID. So that's why I am taking this column. Why? Because here in real time we will go to you will go for this particular option. Instead of selecting the table, you will go for writing the query. Why? Because the target table may have a number of columns. Okay,
Right.
so if you select that particular table, and it will try to pick all the columns, but we are not using all the columns, we are just using either one or two columns. Okay,
Right.
so if you select all the columns, and the what we call the system, the SSIS will try to get the entire data from the table, and it will take the entire data and it will keep that entire data in temporary memory space. So which will
Right.
occupy more space. So instead, what we do is we will simply write the SQL query, and whatever the necessary columns we want to have in our query, only that particular column we will take. So it will take some less amount of temporary memory, and the operation will go fast.
Faster.
So, so that's why I'm taking only a particular column instead of selecting all the columns. So I'll
Right.
take product ID and then go to columns here. If you go to the columns, there you can see available input columns. That means these are all coming from source, and this is the column we are having in our lookup table.
Right.
So source we have product ID, and in the lookup we are having product ID. Just map
Right.
that particular thing. Okay, so that means every time you are indirectly telling that every time you are checking with the product ID.
Right.
So just click on OK. Once after click on OK, from product to from lookup to you can take the connection to OLEDB destination. Once
Right.
you drag that and release on the destination component, you will get one dialog box like this: input and output selection. So
Right.
if you go here in output, you can see two things: lookup matched output, lookup no matched output. That means
Okay.
matched output means if the record is existed in the target, that is a matched output. If the record is not
Okay.
existed, then it is a no match output. So which output you want to select? So for now, I will take no match output.
Okay.
Okay, I will take no match output. Just select this and click on OK. So you will get no match output. So if I found no match output, I am taking that output to the OLEDB destination. Here I will insert the record. Okay, so select your database, and what is your target table? Product ninth. This is what my target table, and go to the mappings, and the columns are automatically mapped. Why? Because the column names are matching. Click on OK. Okay, so
Yeah.
just save this and then execute the package. 4 rows it is taking from source into lookup, and then from lookup to destination we are inserting 4 rows.
Right.
Go back and check your
Database.
data. So you got 4 rows. In source we have 4 rows, and in target we have 4 rows. I'm stopping the package, and now I'm again executing the package. See, here it is taking 4 rows.
Yes.
And from lookup, what we are getting? We are just getting lookup no match output. Since all the records are matching, and we are considering about no match output. Okay,
Right.
so no record, there is no new entry in the source. That's why
Right.
that's why we didn't get any record into the destination. But in some cases, let us say, if I change some record in the source, this is what our source data. I will try to change the source data. Update, set. I will try to change some product cost. Product cost equal to around 50,000 for a particular product. Where,
Product ID.
right, product ID equal to some 104. Okay, so
Okay.
let us update. So in source for 104, we are having 50,000. The product cost is the 50,000, and
Mm-hmm.
in destination it is having only 20,000. So for the next
Right.
time, if I execute the package, it should
Mm-hmm.
update this value. Okay, so here I am bothering about lookup no match output. Okay,
Right.
we have one more option. It is showing earlier when we are taking this one. That is lookup matched output. So
Right.
we will take that matched output into one component called as, here we are having OLEDB command. Take that
Okay.
OLEDB command, place it here, and then from lookup to give the connection to OLEDB command. See, it will automatically take the matched output connection. Why? Because it is generating two outputs. One is
Right.
one we are already using that, and the remaining thing will goes to the OLEDB command. This OLEDB command instead of this, now I
Mm-hmm.
thought of updating the already existing records. Okay, so this will do whatever the new record it is found, it will try to insert. But for updating the record, this will not do that update operation. So to do that, what I am trying to do is I am taking one OLEDB command transformation. Instead of that, I will try to update the records. Okay,
Okay.
open that. So give the connection manager like where your target table is existed.
Right.
So this is what my connection, and go to the component properties. At last you can see the SQL command option. Go there and write your update statement. So what you are trying to update. So whenever if you see any change in the particular product, let us say it might be I mean most of the cases product name won't change and product category won't change as per this particular structure. The only change will occur here is product cost. Okay,
Right.
so what I will do is whenever you found any change in the attributes, whatever the attribute it might be, you found if you found any change, I will go for update. Update
Okay.
target, set some columns where product ID equal to something. It might be any product ID. Okay, so I don't know what is the for which product the changes are happened in the source. We don't know, right? So whenever we load the data, we will come to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what are the columns that you are going to update? So if you want to update the product name as well, you can update. Product category as well, you can update. In product cost also. So for now, I will take only product cost.
Right.
Why? Because we are not going to update any product name or product category. We are just updating product cost. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about the cost. Okay, so here you are able to see the records and only a small set of records, only four records. That's why we are able to see what is the change in this. But in
Right.
real time, you will get millions of records. So we can't say this. I mean, how many records has been changed and how many values has been changed. So in that case,
Right.
simply give the question mark. Okay,
Okay.
just take this update statement and place it
Okay.
here. Okay, so
Yeah.
these question marks will pick the values at runtime. Okay,
Okay.
so just click on OK. After that, go to column mappings. Here you have to map that question marks. Okay, so you have given two question marks. So which question mark refer to which column you have to specify. So
Okay.
this system will treat this one as a parameter. Okay,
Right.
param underscore 0, and this will treat as a param underscore 1. Okay,
Right.
so for param underscore 0, what is that column that you are going to populate? Product cost. So param underscore 0, these are all the source columns that you are getting. Okay, so param underscore 0, it will take product cost. Okay,
Right.
product cost will goes to param 0, and for param 1 it is product id.
Right.
So go here and then map your product id.
Mm-hmm.
That means whenever if the match it found any matched record, let us say it found, if it founds any matched record, the data will come to OLEDB command. Okay, that means all the
Right.
product IDs and the data will come to OLEDB command. Here it
Mm-hmm.
will check for the updating. So in the query, like we have specified two question mark. So these are all the data that it is getting, and it will try to map with these parameters.
Right.
Just click on OK.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have only less number of columns, two columns or four columns. But in real time, like we will have set of columns. So we have to remember the order when you are mapping the parameters here. You have to remember the order. What is parameter 0 is referring here, and what is parameter 1. So you may have
Right.
like parameter nearly 20-30 parameters in some cases.
Right.
So if you miss the order, the values, whatever the values you are going to set over here, that may change, right? So in that case you have to remember the order.
So we can always refer to the SSMS, right, for the query?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Like before writing the query in this particular OLEDB command, better write the query in SSMS, and while
Right.
mapping the parameters, just refer this particular update statement.
Okay.
Just click on OK and then save it, execute it. Okay, so here it is taking four rows, and all the four rows are existed in the target already. So those rows are coming to the OLEDB command. So here inside of this, I have specified update statement. So it should execute the update. So let us see the update is happened or not.
Right.
So update is happened. So 50,000 has been updated. So let us say if I try to insert one more record in the source.
Mm-hmm.
So the data is already existed. So as of now, first, we have inserted the records into the empty target table. The insertion has been done successfully, and second time we did some update to the already
Right.
existing record. That is also done successfully. Now I will try to insert one record, okay, into the source. So what I will do is 105 or 106. I will go for iPhone. Okay, it's mobile category. It is around some 70,000. This
Right.
is a new record I am trying to insert.
The source table, right?
Yes, source table. And I have inserted one record in the source table.
Mm-hmm.
Now source is having five records, and I will do one more operation. Okay, so for 103 HTC, I will try to change the product cost as some 40,000.
Okay.
So that means in source, like we have two changes. One is new record we are getting, and some change in the already existing record. So
Right.
let's try to execute the package. See, it is taking 5 rows and one is new record, so that's why no match output will goes to 1 here, and then 4 rows will goes to update. So
Oh, okay.
that's how
Okay.
the data looks like. So here, let me stop this. Here you are handling the rows, the no match entries, redirect rows to no match output. That means in the lookup, if it found any no match entry, we are telling the lookup that redirect rows to no match output. That means if any no rows comes to no rows it found, I mean if it is new row, it will redirect to this particular output, no match output. Okay, no match output, redirect rows to no match output. Apart from this, we have three more options.
Mm-hmm.
One is fail the component. Okay, so if you select the fail the component, just click on OK, save this. That means I'm trying to, I'm telling the system like if you found any new record in the source, just fail the package.
Oh, okay.
Let us say if I try to insert one more new record, okay, in the source
Mm-hmm.
107, some Samsung, and it is a mobile category and it is 30,000. So this is what the new record
Right.
in the source. Source we are having one more new record. So let us say if I execute the package, see package got has been failed.
Right.
Okay, so why? Because what is this scenario is uh, the maximum of the cases like we have these two options only. Okay, updating the record and inserting the record. But
Right.
in some cases, like client is pretty much sure that there won't be any change in the dimension data. Okay,
Okay.
not change, like there won't be any new record in the dimension data. There must be only updates. There won't be any kind of new records. So in that
Right.
case, the client will tell us like if you found any new records, just
Mhm.
fail the package instead of inserting or updating the record. Just fail the component. Okay, so in that case,
Okay.
like if the component has been failed, then you will come to know yes, new record has been. I mean, we are getting some new record. So in that case,
Okay.
client will tell us like if it is a new record, then it might be some kind of junk data. So instead of inserting the junk data, we just fail the component. Okay,
Okay.
and we'll tell the client yes, like we are getting some junk data into our dimension. Okay, so
Okay.
stop this, and the one more option we are having is redirect rows to error output. Like if you found the junk data, so what we have to do is sometimes like you may need to take that particular junk records, okay, and send back to the client. So for that
Oh,
purpose what we do is we'll just redirect rows to error output, click on OK,
okay.
and what we do is we will configure the error output. Here we are having no match output, matched output, and
Yes, sir.
what the option we have selected, redirect rows to error output. What is the error output? Here we haven't configured any error output, right? So to
Okay.
configure the error output, what we do is I will just take one flat file destination,
Mm.
and from here you can see the red color arrow mark. Okay,
Right.
take that red color arrow mark and give the connection to
Flat file.
flat file. Okay, and now
Right.
this flat file we have to configure. We took that just component, but instead of the component we haven't specified any flat file name or flat file path. Okay, so
Right.
that's why it is showing like error mark. So we have
Mm-hmm.
to configure that flat file. Double click on that. Here all here also you have to give the connection manager. Flat file
Right.
connection manager. Connection manager in the sense like where the file is existed and what is the file name. So as of
Yeah.
now, we haven't configured anything. I will just go for new
Mhm.
and just click on OK. You will get the connection manager. What is the connection that you want to pick and where the location. So just change the name for our convenience. Flat file error and where the file is existed. File name. What is the file? So I'll go for the browse. B
It
drive.
can be any new file, right?
Yeah, it can be any new file or any existing file, whatever it may be. So I'm just creating a new file. As of now, I don't have any file. I will just create a new file. So simply a text document. So I will name it as error
Yeah.
underscore product.
Right.
Just say, take this, click on OK. Okay. Just go to the columns. These are all the columns. So why it is taking all the column names automatically means we have mapped here, right? So that's why it is automatically taking the column names as well. Okay.
Right.
So once after take the connection, go to the mappings and tell the system to map all the columns. Okay.
Okay.
Click on the error code and error column will automatically generated by the system. No need to bother about these two things. Okay. So
Mm.
whatever the
Okay.
source data we are getting, so we just have to look into this one. Click on
Okay.
OK. Just save it and then execute the package. Okay, so 6 rows it is taking into the lookup and 5 rows already existed and 1 row it found as a new row. So what
Right.
we have specified, we are just redirecting rows to error output. Okay, so just go back and instead of your solution, we have created this file, right? So open that,
Right.
there you can see this is what the new row. Okay, so we
Um,
can send this kind of rows to the client, like these are the new rows that you are getting, and once we get the confirmation from the client, let's these are the valid rows we can insert. They may tell like that. So in that case, like you can go for the insertion of those rows as well for the next
mhm.
step. So 5 rows has been already, I mean, we already have those 5 rows, so that's why those 5 rows are going to the update.
Right.
Stop this. And the other option that we are having is ignore failure. That means if you found any new rows, just simply ignore that.
Got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't go for failure or anything, just simply ignore that. And here we are having catchy modes. What is this
Right.
catchy modes? Full catchy, partial catchy, no catchy. So by default we haven't touched this catchy mode, and by default it is showing the full catchy. The full catchy option is selected. Full catching means like whenever like you are trying to look up with the target table, right? So in the inside of the target table, like we may have millions of records. So if you
Mhm.
take all the record, you want to take all the records at a time, all the data at a time into the temporary buffer space, then we can select the full cache. Or
Okay.
else if you select the partial cache, then what the system will do is it will take some chunks of data. Okay, so let us say 10 millions of records. So in that case, like it will take 10,000 records for one time and next 10,000, next 10,000, like that. Okay, partial data it will take and it will keep the data in the cache memory. Or else if you
Right.
take no cache, that means I don't want to maintain any cache. That means every time if you want to compare the source record, every time it will hit the database table and then it will try to search the data inside of the database table. It won't take that temporary memory and all. Straight away it will hit that database table. So
Right.
by default, we will go for full cache only. Okay, we
Right.
won't touch this cache mode at, I mean, in 99% of the cases.
Okay.
And connection type, what is the connection that you are going to use? Just we are taking OLEDB connection manager only, right? So this is what the OLEDB connection manager. So in some cases, like what people will do is people will maintain cache connection manager. That means here you are
Mhm.
in full cache mode, right? So whatever the
Right.
data that is maintaining in the cache, they will save that cache data in a temporary file.
Right.
So they want to use, in some cases, like they will use that particular temporary memory.
Okay.
Temporary memory. So this is also, we won't touch this any kind of, I mean, 99% of the situations we won't touch these two options. Just full cache and OLEDB connection managers we will maintain. So altogether, what we do is we will just change the handling the no match entry,
Right.
no matching entries. So how you are going to handle as per your requirement, whether you want to
Mm-hmm.
update the record or else whether you want to insert the record, or else if you found any new record you want to failure, or else if you want to redirect
Read.
the rows to error output. So
Mm-hmm.
that means if you want to take those data into customer attention, if you can go for the
Right.
redirect rows. So this is what that you can do. The option that you have to remember. And coming to the connections, this is what the important thing that you need to remember. So even though you are
Right.
having the table name, we have to select the
The query.
yeah, you have to write the query with the limited number of columns. That means you are just using only product ID. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we are selecting only one column and go to the
Right.
columns. After that, go to the columns. Here you have to give the proper matching connection.
Mapping.
Let us say in some cases,
Yeah.
like there might be combination of columns. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so here we have a product name and product category. In Sony also,
Right.
like we may have one more entry. Sony TV category also there might be chance of existence. So in that case, instead of going the product ID, if you want to select the combination of product name and product category, then you can
Mm-hmm.
go for product name and product category here. Okay,
Yes.
and go to columns. Here we have to map product name and product category. That means combination of columns. Checking with the combination of columns.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what the second thing that you need to remember, giving the proper matching, what we call matching entries to the lookup
Right.
columns. So that's about lookup. So this is pretty much important. 99% of the SSIS packages won't exist
Mm-hmm.
without this lookup transformation. Why? Because when we are dealing with the dimension, when we are loading with the dimension tables, we will use lookup transformation in 99% of the cases. Okay,
Okay.
just have a practice on this lookup transformation, like how to insert the data and how to, this is not the mandatory thing that having a matching output, okay, or else having a matching error output. Even without these two also, like you can go for the implementation. Why? Because
Okay.
if there is any chance of updating the record, then only you will go for the take OLEDB command and we will update the things.
That.
Okay,
Yeah.
or else if
Mm-hmm.
there is any chance of getting the new entries, and if you don't want to enter the new entries, then only you will go for the error output configuration. Okay,
Right.
so otherwise, no need to configure these two things. Simply
Okay.
go for only with the OLEDB destination for the insertion of the records. Okay, so that means
Okay.
like it's purely depends on your requirement. What are the components that I want to have after the lookup transformation? Okay,
Okay.
so just
Mm-hmm.
have a practice on this thing, and we will continue in next class. Okay.